Hi everyone, I'm Mercy, and I just want to tell you a bit of a story, actually, background to what led me here. As a UX designer, when I left school in 2015, had clear-cut direction, plans, wanted to do my master's, and afterwards my PhD. And yes, I was very specific. I didn't want to do it in Nigeria, which is where I schooled, and that is where I've been like all my years. I kept applying to schools. I actually got lots of offers. Some were very expensive. I couldn't go for it. Some I had partial scholarship, but the other part of it I couldn't also fund it. And I just kept doing that year in, year out. 2017, at some point I got an offer for US, and that was full scholarship. And then I kept getting rejection from the embassy. Applied again 2018, got the same offer, full scholarship. I was excited all over again. I did the old embassy thing and it didn't happen. 2019, all the way to 2019, it kept going that way. And up to 2021, actually, I kept getting this admission, the full scholarship, etc. And that didn't work out because the embassy kept rejecting it. And it was painful through this process. But in between the applications, I was also working. I worked in the bank. And in 2019, I had a gap because I resigned because I was a few weeks before my interview. And a week after, if I was granted the visa, I was going to travel out. So I'd placed my resignation letter. And interestingly, also, I was actually led that it was time for me to resign. But I thought, as far as safe person I am, I thought because, yes, I was actually going to transfer into my master's program already. So it wasn't much of a big deal. I dropped the resignation letter. To cut the story short, I didn't get the visa. My resignation letter was submitted. And I was just back to the house. Like I went back home and I was there for a year. It was the most stretching time of my year because I was stressed. I didn't have any finances at the time. There's something called Empower in Nigeria, which came to be. I got some chicken change every month, but that was nothing for a grown up. But even during this, God was also teaching me to also give. So I organized outreaches during this period, met friends, actually got detached from some friends as well because, yeah, it's always your time when you're constrained that you know who are your real friends. So, yeah, I had those moments where I got detached from friends. I also got new friends. And yes, I was in the house for a year plus before I got another job in Lagos. And I just was very excited. Actually, before I got the one in Lagos, I missed the part. I was interested in something sciences all the years. So when there was a friend that was linking me up with an internship program in Ibadan, in one of the research institutes. And I was excited for it. And that's when COVID happened. So COVID happened and my offer that was intact was withdrawn because they couldn't take me in at the time. And when COVID was a bit down and people could resume, they were like, the offer was gone. Another blow. And so in between some months down, I got another offer. That was when I resumed to Lagos, when I mentioned earlier. And I resumed, I was excited. Oh, it was also sciences. It was a research company, in biotechnology that I always wanted to go for. However, to give me the surprise of my time, I wasn't doing anything research. I wasn't doing anything about technology. I was front desk officer taking in, welcome to this place. You're going to take tests today and all of that. So it wasn't the best time of my life, But I just kept doing it. I always complained because this was not where I saw myself. I left school 2015. I was 2021 in a place where I was so far from where I'd envisaged or envisioned myself being at the time. So, but I just kept going to work, facing traffic a bit, and going back home tired and stressed, working weekends. It wasn't the best. And in between this, my then fiancé advised that, okay, you like design, you like art actually. And you also like research. And there's something that you could also combine. So UX came into the picture. He talked to me about it. I researched it online, read about it. Okay, let me take this up. Around that time when I decided to eventually go fully into taking courses, I got some people sent some courses openings on WhatsApp. I joined one, which was 3 months. I started liking it and progressed further. I got a full fellowship program, which was another opening, and that spanned for 1 year, and that really made it much more interesting for me getting into UX and UI. And as funny and interesting as God is, I was thinking about it, and this is what spurred me to do this video today, because I was thinking about it that all these little pieces all formed into one direction. So when I was frustrated and there was a suggestion, I decided to go for it. That was when I got the first internship and then the fellowship program. And the project I did during this fellowship program, which was 1 year in between working that stressful job in Lagos, was what I presented forward for my now master's program in Netherlands, where I am. And it just was, it wasn't like the best project, but it got me into a master's program. I didn't do a bachelor's, but I got into a master's program with it. And during the master's program, there were glitches. At the time, I just gave birth to my son in between resuming school a month plus after. And I needed to get someone outside the country. If you're outside the country, you know how this deal is. There's nobody that's going to help you. Just you and your spouse, and if you have friends, gracefully. Anyway, so it was just me and my husband dealing and trying to find how to make this work. I considered deferring the admission, which looking back at it again today, I'm thankful I didn't do that, because I got a waiver for my English proficiency. I didn't have to write the exam, go with, and I got more like privy to the information that the upcoming batch and the ones coming afterwards are going to write this exam, and that's extra money anyway. So I applied to just the school. I got into the school with just projects that I did during in between working and doing the fellowship program, and I am thankful I did the masters. I'm doing this masters now, because it's been initially when I started, I didn't feel I was up to it. There were people that were in design, did my bachelor's, 4 years, 5 years, experienced designers, all in the same classroom. And at some point, I didn't feel like I had so much to offer. But going through it has stretched me, has made me see that this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm thankful I took that decision to run alongside doing the course in between the very stressful job I was doing then in Lagos. And making this bold step to also take on the masters and do it afterwards. Yes, it wasn't the best or the most fun time, having to give birth, going through postpartum, and then resuming school. After joining down to school, like 1 hour to and 1 hour fro, and juggling all other things in my life. But it's made me see that each time I feel like I can't do something and I try to take one step further, going past how I feel that I can't do this, I get into that place and I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. I can always do more. So yes, I just want to tell someone that's watching this video that you can always do much more than you think you have the capacity to do. It's not always going to be easy. You're going to be stretched. It's my mantra that in motherhood, for example, you're going to be stretched in all directions, but you can't keep shying away from taking risk and taking some good decisions. At the time, it might be insane when you tell people, for example, when I told some people that I was going to do my master's after giving birth 1 month plus ago. They were like, Messi, are you sure you're doing this? Are you sure you're able to? But I just knew strongly within me that it was time for me to do this. And so, yes, I picked it up. I'm doing it. And I'm doing an internship. Yes, another part of the story is the internship got me one of my prayer points for this year, to travel. To travel a lot. And I'm traveling a lot actually this year too. So, hey, you can do so much more. And I'm here today. So, yes, I'm proudly a UX designer. I am growing in the field. I am taking up more tasks. and I'm excited for the journey ahead. Thank you for talking with me or listening to my talk. Sorry. All right. Bye.